South Africa. 1 point from 2 games. 1 match left. And a 3 a.m. kickoff tomorrow morning that could send Bafana Bafana into the World Cup knockout rounds for the very first time in our history. The question isn't just can they do it, it's how. Because the scenarios are multiple and the maths here can get a little complicated. So let's break it down. Every single path, what needs to happen, what the numbers say, and what the BizNews AI Predictor makes of South Africa's chances. Here's where Group A sits after 2 match days. Mexico sit top of the group, already through with a maximum 6 points after a comfortable win against us in the tournament opener and victory over SA's upcoming opponents, South Korea, in round 2. Their job is done. South Korea sit in second place with 3 points from 2. They beat Czechia in their opening game and lost to Mexico in their second. A draw against Bafana sends them through. Here's where it gets interesting. Czechia and South Africa, both sitting on 1 point after a 1-1 draw in round 2. Both with everything to play for in round 3. Czechia's advantage? Goal difference. They'll sit at -1, while Bafana sits at -2. That single goal separates them. And as we'll see, it factors into almost every scenario we're about to cover. Both final round games kick off simultaneously on Thursday the 25th of June at 3 a.m. That's tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. South Africa versus South Korea and Czechia versus Mexico. Same time, different stadiums, everything to play for. Right, 5 scenarios. Let's get started. Scenario 1. The clean path. Bafana win and Czechia fail to beat Mexico. This is the one everyone wants. South Africa win, they go to 4 points. South Korea stay on 3. Czechia finish on 1 or 2. South Africa finish second in Group A. Through automatically, no third place sweepstake required. It's worth being clear on that because it matters. Second place means Bafana are through regardless of what happens in every other group. They don't need to check standings or count other teams' goals. They're just in. The key variable in the scenario, what Mexico do. If Czechia draw or lose to Mexico, South Africa finish second cleanly with the win over Korea Republic. If Czechia also win, that's scenario 2, and the maths gets thornier. Scenario 2, both teams win, and now the maths gets complicated. If South Africa and Czechia both win, they both finish on 4 points. FIFA's tiebreaker order for the 2026 World Cup is decided as follows. Head-to-head points first, then head-to-head goal difference, then head-to-head goals scored. Now South Africa and Czechia drew 1-1, so they equal on every head-to-head measure. So second and third would be decided by that pesky goal difference we mentioned at the start. As it stands, Czechia are at -1, Bafana are at -2. To move clearly ahead, South Africa need to win by at least 2 more goals than Czechia win by. In essence, if Czechia beat Mexico 1-0, they move to 0 goal difference. A 2-0 Bafana win also moves them to 0. Level. Level on goal difference, level on goals scored, and then it drops to conduct score, where South Africa's ill discipline in match day 1, those 2 red cards against Mexico, make it a fight Bafana are unlikely to win. So if Czechia win 1-0, Bafana will need to win by 3 goals or more to move clearly ahead. So not only will Bafana be chasing a win, they'll be chasing a convincing win. However, if Bafana beat Korea but still fall behind Czechia with the smaller goal difference, Bafana will sit in 3rd place on 4 points, which should be enough to see South Africa qualify as one of the 8 best 3rd place teams. Now since Euro 2016, when the best 3rd place finisher rule was first introduced, a 3rd place team on 4 points has never not qualified for the knockout round. So if Bafana win, the boys in yellow should be seeing the round of 32, regardless of other results and regardless of whether they finish 2nd or 3rd in Group A. But a 2nd place finish would theoretically mean an easier draw in the round of 32. but that would all depend on what happens in the other groups. Now, scenario 3, South Africa draw with South Korea, and crucially, Czechia lose to Mexico. The final table in this scenario, Mexico first on 9 points, South Korea second on 4, South Africa third on 2, and Czechia finished bottom on 1. Bafana are in third place, but only just, and with a mountain to climb. 2 points as a third place team means needing to rank in the top 8 of 12. That's possible, but fragile. And here's the extra problem. South Africa's 2 red cards against Mexico are sitting on our disciplinary record. Fair play is an official tiebreaker for the best third place standings, sitting above FIFA ranking, and Bafana lose both of those fights. Mathematically alive? Yes. Practically, we'd be refreshing the standings tables at 3 a.m. for days, praying that other groups throw up worse third place teams. Highly unlikely that anything but a win against South Korea sees us through, but mathematically, it could happen. Now, scenario 4, Bafana Bafana draw, and Czechia draw or win against Mexico. There's no route through here, full stop. If Czechia draw and South Africa fails to beat Korea Republic, the final table reads Mexico first, South Korea second on 4 points, Czechia third on 2, South Africa fourth on 2, and Czechia edge Bafana on goal difference. And then, of course, if Czechia win, Czechia move past Bafana on points, not just on goal difference. And South Africa finished fourth without that victory over South Korea. The lesson? A draw for Bafana is only useful if Mexico win that game against Czechia. A draw from Czechia kills our chances just as surely as a win does. Now, scenario 5 is the absolute nightmare. Bafana lose. We finish on 1 point, that's 4th place. We're done. No combinations, no tiebreakers, no refreshing tables at 3 a.m. Nothing could save us. So those are the scenarios. But how likely is each one? Let's talk numbers. Odds Checker, the UK-based platform that aggregates prices from more than 20 licensed bookmakers, gives us a broad market view. South Korea to win, the implied probability sits at around 60%. A draw around 25%. South Africa to win, roughly 17%. World Sport Betting, a leading South African sportsbook, had South Korea priced at 1.57, implying about a 64% probability of a win. The consensus across the market is clear. South Korea are heavy favorites. We, Bafana Bafana, are big underdogs. For Czechia versus Mexico, the market is much more open. Mexico slight favorites at 51% implied, Czech Republic at 27%. A game made also more unpredictable by the fact that Mexico has nothing left to play for, and are likely to play quite a heavily rotated starting 11. Now, analytics company Opta has a supercomputer which ran 10,000 simulations of how the remaining group stage games could play out. The Opta supercomputer gave South Africa just a 24.9% chance of qualifying after our loss against Mexico in round 1. The draw against Czechia in round 2 kept Bafana alive, but didn't dramatically shift that probability. The XG data from Bafana's opening 2 games tells the full story. XG, or expected goals, is a statistical measure of the quality of a chance. A tap-in from 6 yards might be worth 0.9 XG, while a speculative long-range effort from the halfway line, 0.02 XG. The higher the number, the more likely a goal should have been scored. Against Mexico, we had 3 shots, 0.07 expected goals. That is one of the lowest XG totals Opta have ever recorded for a team in a World Cup match. Against Czechia, it was different. 17 shots, an XG of 1.37 versus Czechia's 1.02. Tebogo Mokoena was exceptional in midfield, with 120 touches, 96% pass accuracy, 5 key passes, and of course the equalizer from the spot. Against Czechia, Bafana showed us that the quality is there. The structural concern for the South Korea game is that they only need a draw to see themselves through to the knockout rounds. Much like Czechia did after their early goal against us last week, Korea will sit deep, try to hit us on the counter, and Son Heung-min, a Premier League proven star with 56 international goals for his country, is exactly the kind of player who can punish a team chasing the game. South Africa will want to score early. And this is where we hand over to the BizNews AI Match Predictor, our new analysis tool powered by Anthropic's Claude. Our predictor operates across 4 layers. Betting markets data from top licensed bookies, stripped of the bookmaker's overround to give you true implied probabilities, team stats from Opta, analytics like XG, defensive shape, pressing intensity, form, player data from FBref, that's per 90 metrics for the key creators, strikers, and defensive anchors on each side, and a contextual layer that accounts for things like squad motivation, suspensions, and tactical mismatches. Here's what it says for South Africa versus South Korea. A South Korea win, 56%. A draw, 31%. South Africa to win, 13%. The model's verdict, South Korea win with a moderate edge. The combined signal from betting markets and Opta team stats favors the Taeguk Warriors, who need only a draw, carry the stronger squad across every data layer, and are built exactly for the kind of counter-attacking game that a Bafana side chasing a result will inadvertently set up for them. The market gives South Africa roughly a 17 to 20% chance of winning, and winning is the only outcome that gives Bafana a genuinely comfortable path through. But here's the thing about football, and about Bafana specifically. We've been here before, in a different way. The 2010 World Cup, host nation, Bafana eliminated France, Thierry Henry and all, but went out on goal difference, tied with Mexico on 4 points. The best third-place teams rule would have seen us through. The numbers didn't favor us then either. But this team isn't that team. Head coach Hugo Broos would be the first to say so. They are organized, they are disciplined. Williams, Imbokazi, Mbata, Mudau, Modiba, Maseko, and a nation of 60 million setting their alarms for 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Can Broos's boys make history? The numbers say no. But my heart says yes. Set your alarm. I'm Patrick Kidd for BizNews.com.